Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Quick update on the weather going into the first part of the week because it's going to get really crazy Monday into Tuesday. We've got the potential for maybe even some severe weather on Monday as the next Arctic front heads our way. See what's going on tonight. We've got some Arctic air not too far away from us over in the middle of the country along the Ohio River Valley back into even North Texas where it's snowing in a lot of locations tonight. Quick look at the surface observations. I'll show you all the places where it's actually snowing from Ohio all the way back down into Texas. But what's interesting tomorrow is as this front approaches, it's going to pull up some pretty juicy air just ahead of it. Now, that is actually not the forecast for tomorrow. I want to back up here and kind of show you what it's going to look like as far as the models go. We've got some cold air back to the northwest, and I'm going to take off all the current conditions so it's a little bit easier to see. We'll get rid of all this stuff. And you can see the cold front right in here, but the Arctic air back to the west. Now watch what happens as we go out into the future here. We're wedged in initially early tomorrow, but as we go into the afternoon hours, we might see the warm air kind of win out. So we'll go to about 1 p.m. and I'll zoom in a little bit closer. Notice this warm air. These are temperatures in the low 60s, even some 70s not too far away, trying to get up here. And as the front approaches, there likely could be some severe weather in South Carolina and eastern North Carolina as the cold front approaches. You can see how dramatic that cold front is as it swings across the Carolinas. And even though the front moves through with possibly some strong, maybe severe weather right in there, we'll have to watch to see what develops as far as that warm air getting up here. Reflectivity-wise, we'll look at the future radar, and you can see pretty good line of storms tomorrow. So I'm not going to be shocked if we get some severe weather with this front. Unlike the last Arctic front, the potential for some severe weather is going to be in there because you see that line right there. And let me show you just some of the shear. There's a lot of shear in there. So I'm a little worried we could see some strong, maybe some severe weather. The Cape's not huge. I'll back this up a little bit. It's not huge amounts of CAPE, what we call thunderstorm fuel, but certainly the potential is there for some strong storms tomorrow along the Arctic front. Okay, so that's the Arctic part of this, or the severe weather part of this. Let's get more to the Arctic part. So we'll widen this out, and you see how cold this air is coming down, but I'm going to switch to another model, the GFS model. And this really tells me a lot about what's happening. This air mass is originating over in Siberia. So as we go into the future here, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm turning on the surface temperatures, which you see there, but I'm also going to turn on the 850 millibar heights, which kind of shows the flow. So as we go towards Tuesday into Wednesday, let me back this up a little bit. We'll go to Tuesday morning. This is Tuesday morning. Notice that cold air coming across Siberia. And look at this flow. I mean, this is pretty stunning to see. The air mass is originating over here in Siberia. It's crossing over the pole, coming down through Canada and going right down into the U.S. This is something you don't often see, especially in November. So this is almost unheard of this time of year. So that's Tuesday morning into the afternoon hours, and then we'll go into Wednesday, and the cold air really establishes itself. So by Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, excuse me, it is really cold in the lower 48 as this Arctic air is kind of moving down straight out of Canada. And again, those green areas are actually below zero readings up there. So a couple records could fall. Tuesday, I think the record max min, which is the lowest high temperature for the day, is like 35. The record low temperature for Wednesday morning is 18. We certainly could be in that ballpark. And then Wednesday afternoon, the record low high, we call it, is actually only 38. So we could see a couple records break. The lowest high temperature for both Tuesday and Wednesday for the day, and probably a record low temperature of 18, maybe 17 on Wednesday morning. And teens in November, almost unheard of. I think it's only happened like 8 total times. One time last year, actually, when we had a really big cold snap. So kind of hard to see that, but it's just amazing to me to see this cold air coming right out of the Siberian Express. You probably have heard that before, and this is truly the Siberian Express because this stuff is coming straight down starting late tomorrow. So first part of this, severe weather likely tomorrow with temperatures maybe skyrocketing into the 60s, and then the Arctic air comes in for Tuesday and Wednesday. That's what we're focusing on right now, so make sure you stay tuned to the weather both for your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday if we prepare for this Arctic outbreak, and then we'll start looking ahead to next weekend and what could be a very active pattern going towards Thanksgiving. A lot of wishy-washiness in the models, but let's get through this early week outbreak first before we start worrying about the long range. Of course, we'll see you tomorrow starting at 4, 5, and 6, and of course you can watch tonight after the game. John Wendell will have the latest, and always online, wcnc.com, our app, social media, Facebook, Twitter, got them all covered for you.